nerdsreviews.com presents Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Yo, we talk about lightsabers, stunning your TV screens, what you want to stream, everything beyond your dreams. Want to talk about movies, sports, or even politics? Go ahead and tune into us, we'll give you all of it. Whatever you're debating, Xbox or PlayStation, Marvel or DC, Mac or PC. Teraflops when the movie drops, gigabytes, chips, RAM, no matter what it is, we got all of it. Welcome to the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Welcome to Nerds Talking, the podcast, season 1, episode 6, if I'm not mistaken. This is what we call the conspiracy theory episode. Part 1, I'm pretty sure you can talk about this stuff forever. Pretty sure this podcast just on conspiracy theories. And you know the usual suspects. We got Carlos.
Hello.
We got Dennis.
Yo.
And we have our guest, Julius, is in the house. He is a friend of Carlos's. And, we're going to just jump right into it with our very first topic based on very popular not YouTube, I should say. Well, it is YouTube as well, but a Netflix show. I think it's called Beyond the Curve. And is it Beyond or Behind the Curve?
Behind
the Curve. On Netflix. It's about flat Earth or flat Earthers. It's a very odd topic, really. But if you're a flat Earther, I'd love to hear from you. And if you're not, then I'd like to hear your rebuttal against the flat earthers. So let's start it off. We'll start with Carlos. Go ahead. Give us your take on not necessarily the documentary, but just the idea of flat Earth.
Well, I don't really know where to begin. But I mean, it's just odd that some people actually believe that the Earth is flat, or still believe. I don't even think they still believe. I think that they went down the rabbit hole and looked into one YouTube video, then another, then kind of convinced themselves that the Earth is flat, or they wanted to join something that they just wanted to be a part of something, is what it was. I mean, I see these people as people that don't really have anywhere that they belong, so they want to be a part of something. Dennis, stop shaking your head. I'm not even done. They just want to be a part of something. They want to belong to something, so they attach themselves to a group. And in this instance, the group is flat earthers. I think it's kind of odd. I mean, Dennis, I'll throw it to you. You're nodding, you're throwing your head back and forth. Like, no, you don't believe it, but after you give your opinion, then we'll go back and talk about the documentary. But go ahead, Dennis. Let's hear your take on why people believe the Earth is flat.
Well, like the whole who is the guy that came out about was NBA guy,
Kyrie
Irving. Yes. Kyrie Irving, right? Mm-hmm. Came out about it, and then there's like a few NBA players that kind of opened up and said that they believe that the Earth is flat, right? I just kind of like, I'm kind of like the normal average person that just kind of like has been in this like, like Earth science, what we've been told, the whole life about, how Earth is, right? Like, being round, and we're
normal.
Just normal people, right? I mean, I don't really know if that's considered normal, because I mean, it's just as a society, that's how we've been kind of taught, and we've been raised that way for many years. And I think just kind of seeing these people come out and just spew this idea that go in the opposite way, the first thing that comes to my mind is like, what are you talking about? It's just kind of disbelief. But just kind of looking at the documentary, watching the documentary, and kind of hearing more about the ideas that were presented in that documentary, I think they had some compelling ideas. I think it's just, in my eyes, it's more of just kind of this kind of proving the point. Just kind of they came with a conclusion, and they're trying to come up with some sort of ideas to prove that what we've been told all along is incorrect. Just trying to come up with different experiments and trying to come up with
But what is your take on it?
my take on it.
Yes.
I'm honestly like I don't have any take on it. I mean, I'm sort of like in the kind of neutral about it. I'm just.
So would you say that before you watched the documentary, you were like, yeah, the earth is round, and now you're like, god damn it, I'm confused?
I mean, it's more about just being open-minded at this point. Really, it's people people who are coming up with these ideas. It's not about just proving that what we've been told is incorrect. It's just more of, hey, it's explore it for yourself and not just go in this path that we've been told that to just kind of get just continue on this path that we've been told all along that it's the only way that we should be thinking, right? Like,
so that's basically, but that take is anything. That's a religious take. That's an anything take. Just don't go against what you've been taught your whole life.
well, I think I think to me that's the main the whole driving point. I mean, it's not like just. I think.
But see, I don't think
the
that's
the flat earther it goes beyond above the idea of just being a flat, believing that the earth is flat. I think it's more the idea that we're limiting ourselves into this idea that what we see is just very much how it is, right? Like, do we believe that everything that's presented to us is real and is accurate, and should we just go should we just go along and
so your take on it is basically you're using that as a jump point for question everything, right? Like some sort of X-Files thing. The truth is out there. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. I mean, I don't want to bring up the Truman Show, but
Not
I mean,
yet.
that's
You hold on to that. I know you want to use it so bad.
Let's
You
move
hold
on
that
to
for one second.
move on to Julius.
One
Julius,
second.
what is your take on the flat earthers and their it's not really a conspiracy. Well, it's a conspiracy how they lay it out, but it's I don't know, it's bullshit. But go ahead.
Well, first Catholic Church came up with that centuries ago that the earth is flat. Anybody else who wouldn't believe so, they would be prosecuted or even killed. And Galileo Galilei was one of the scientists and astrologists, Italian astrologists, who have got a confrontation with the Catholic Church over a flat earth towards his new idea that the earth is round. So, okay, this is very simple to understand. It's not hard. I would say, in my opinion, 99.9% the earth is rounded, just like everything else around. And only 1% left, just because I'm a very open-minded person, but that percent compared to 99%, it's almost nothing. So in your minds, go on the ocean and send a helicopter up and send a boat at the same time. And they have to be at the same distance, the helicopter and the boat. Now the helicopter is up, and that, because it's so high, of course, it's not going to go, or if the earth is rounded, it's not going to go around the curve because it's still very high. And the binocular that you have to have a power to see to a certain distance, and you will see that the boat will disappear and the helicopter will get lower and lower and lower, but you're still going to be able to see the helicopter, but not the boat. And they are exactly at the same distance. That can be an experiment at any time which prove the earth is round. That's one. Now, take a powerful telescope. You look out in a universe. Everything that you see around it's up in the sky. Everything is around. We're talking about all the planets. Well, the moon, we all know, we can see it with a clear eye. You see all the planets. For example, you see Venus with a clear eye certain times a year. When you get closer, you see Mars also as well. So they are all around, and you can see with your own eyes without binocular or without telescope. So that proved that everything else, you can see the stars. You look far away, and if you have a powerful telescope, you also see that everything is surrounded. You see all the galaxies. They form a circle. That's because they are in spinning. Everything is spinning. And I come with a key question over here to anybody who bring this theory that the Earth is flat, and that will put this theory off completely. And I will tell you in a minute. So let's say that the sun it's spinning around the Earth. We know the moon does. Let's say all the planets spin around the Earth. Let's say, okay, let's accept that. Well, I don't accept, but let's put it as a theory. But then the stars, which move the position on the sky, when you look in the sky, the stars not going to stay still in the same position. They are moving. So my question is to everybody who come with the flat Earth theory, is this universe moving around the Earth? If the stars are moving around, that means the entire universe is moving around the Earth. How is that possible? Just the Earth stays still and everything in existence is moving around the Earth.
Yeah, just like exactly what you're saying. Like as if we're the center of the universe.
It's just, to me, that means there's supposed to be heaven, which is not. We don't even know what heaven is, but I'm saying, hypothetically, for everything to turn around. Okay, I would accept, let's say, which I don't, but let's say the sun and all the planets turn around the Earth. But how come the entire universe is turning around the Earth? And other universes, scientists seen through binoculars that they are, and they also, through powerful telescopes, they seen around the Earth 3,500 planets they discovered. All are rounded and all have one or two suns and all have moons turning around them. Jupiter has so many moons, Saturn has so many moons. Almost every planet have a moon turning around them. So, and everything is surrounded. To me, the flat Earth theory, like Carlos, like you said, I agree with you 100%. Some people want to belong to a group, and they want to feel important. They want to form their own club. Also, they want to make money, of course. They want to be recognized. It's a human behavior. You have to follow human behavior, and then you understand why they do what they do.
Yeah, and then you got flat earthers that think NASA is basically fake. Everything NASA does is fake. So when they actually believe that when you shoot a rocket into space, like they did this past weekend when NASA and SpaceX did the launch to the space station, they actually think that's all fake. The space station is fake. They're launching these spaceships into space, but then they're coming right down right away. It's all for visual aspect. They think that when they take a picture of Earth from space, it's fake. Everything's fake. Everything NASA does is fake. It's just NASA is a movie production to appease the population. It's not real. I'm telling you, flat Earth is such an odd. It's not really a conspiracy theory. It's just make believe bullshit for people to, like you said, feel good about themselves in some type of way. But it's weird that people actually believe the Earth is flat at this point. Like you brought up Galileo, and even then he didn't have the technology of today, but yet he knew that the Earth was not flat. And the fact that people still think the Earth is flat and they just keep bringing up the same points over and over. There's zero proof that the Earth is flat. I mean, we have, like Dennis said, well, you're taught this from a childhood, and why can't it be something different? Why is it that everybody's taught the same thing? Well, because that's a fact. You're taught a fact. I mean, that's just what it is. And that's why you're taught that. It's not like you're taught a political point from somebody else is different. This is just a fact. The Earth is freaking round.
Now,
what's funny is that you mentioned that. It's funny that you mentioned they all, for some reason, I mean, they want you to be open-minded. They want you to, think outside the box. But what's funny is that anytime they mention NASA, NASA's the enemy. I mean, why would you give yourself an enemy? There shouldn't be any enemies if you're open-minded, if you want to think about things. And what's funny is about these people is that this is actually new. I mean, the reason they started doing this is because of YouTube and social media. This is something new. I mean, they just, like I said before, they just want to be a part of something. And so they planted the seed, and then other people picked up on that, and they jumped down the rabbit hole, and then the other rabbit hole, and then the other rabbit hole. And then, like Kyrie Irving, he actually apologized, saying that that's what he did. He jumped down the rabbit hole. He went far too down the rabbit hole, and it got him thinking, well, maybe it's possible, but I'm sorry, it's not possible. And what's funny is that even the flat earthers, no matter what experiment you debunk of theirs, they will tell you that you did it wrong. Something you did is wrong. And what's funny is that to them, Google is 100% fact. Anything that you Google and whatever Google kicks back at you is 100% fact. And then it's funny how you mentioned that they think that the International Space Station is fake. When in that documentary, Bob Nadal, now this guy debunked himself, and now he's still trying to be relevant. So he did a whole speech about the ISS and how it's fake. He gave you all the measurements. He gave you how big it is, how heavy it is, and he'll tell you that it's fake. And then people in the room actually admitted to seeing it, because there's a website you can go to, spotmystation.nasa.gov, where you can check it and see where the station is going to be, so you can look at it. Well, he asked people in the room if any of them have done it, and quite a few have done it. And he was surprised quite a few had done it. And then he's basically telling them that it's fake, but he never tells them what they saw. Well, what did I see if it's fake? And then this guy in the documentary debunks himself. He debunks the entire flat earth theory when someone in the group spent $20,000 on a fiber optic gyroscope. And he thought as soon as he turned this thing on, it was going to be at 0 degrees and not the 15-degree tilt that we're supposedly at, or that we are at. And when he turned it on, 15 degrees. And he didn't like that. So he tried something else. He tried to put in some sort of vacuum tube. There was no air, whatever. Still 15 degrees. He debunked himself. He even told somebody later on in some sort of little gathering that, he did debunk himself, but he told him that in confidence. So don't tell anybody. Well, these people are funny. They're just
what's even funnier is that watching that documentary, right? Like watching that documentary, I didn't really learn a whole lot much more than what it is about, rather than just the movement, right? But the documentary started out really strong in terms of, okay, this is gonna be something that's gonna be centered along making you switch sides, right? And just kind of, make you believe that, okay, this is really something that's needs to be something that you can jump on, and but towards the end, it's really when they started creating these experiments, kind of putting these
that didn't work.
The tests, they're starting to fail, and then starting to realize they're just coming up with different ideas and experiments just to they've sort of arrived in a conclusion, and now they're trying to backpedal and trying to prove a point that, okay, what their conspiracy is actually true, and anything that they're saying, basically they already made their minds.
Right. Oh yeah. No matter what, like we live in a dome, or there's an ice wall around all of the world, so
it's illegal to visit. Apparently, there's an international law that you can't go to the wall.
Visit the ice wall, yes. Or I guess the dome is the best one. We live in a glass dome.
Well, the best one is that the sun is local. The sun is in the dome. It's not whatever distance. I don't know how far the sun is, but it is not the center of the universe. It's actually local. It's in the dome. They actually believe this. Or I don't. You know what? To be honest, I don't even know if they believe any of it. I think they just go along with it. Like I said, just to be a part of something. And like somebody had said, the best analogy for it that I heard was, flat earthers are like the game whack-a-mole. The more you hit the mole, the more another one will pop up. And then the more you hit it, another conspiracy will pop up, another theory will pop up. No matter how much you debunk it, another one will pop up, and another one, and another one, and another one. No matter how hard you try to debunk it, You're never going to. You can't convince these people otherwise. I
You
mean,
know
just
what
think
I-
about it. They've been
You
cast
know what I
out.
dislike about it? Like the whole thing, that this whole flat Earth movement versus science type of debate is, just you know just the science people just kind of in disbelief whenever someone just opens up and say, something about something about the ridiculous line of, you know flat earth, right? And they're just saying like, how dare you come up with such, thing to say, or how stupid such thing to say, like, i just I just don't see the benefit of not having that open dialogue in terms of, instead of just kind of dismissing the other side. Why not just, sort of, have a conversation about it, and talk about why you believe that way, instead of just saying that, well, what you're saying is just ridiculous. It's just, there's no way that's possible. Just kind of that immediate, you're already, leaning towards your bias, and you're not really open to any more, you know,
But that goes both ways. I mean, if you're a flat earther, you're never going to believe the other side when they tell you, well, that's wrong because of this. Well, then I got this to show you. Well, that's wrong too. Well, then I got this to show you now. Well, that doesn't add up either. Well, I also have like, it's like Carlos said, if you keep telling them that doesn't sound right, buddy, I got this then to show you next. Like, well, you got a lot of things to show me.
It's just not a healthy, relationship between the two sides. Yeah.
Well, it's never going to be like, I mean, Julius, what's your final take on flat Earth and?
Well, it's as we know, human mind can be programmed. A subconscious mind can be programmed, and if somebody repeat to you over and over again, if somebody said you are Jesus Christ and repeated to you every single day for a year or two or three, once your subconscious mind recorded, oh yes, that's what I am, because your subconscious mind recorded, you believe it. If they tell you the earth is flat over and over, you go to all those meetings, you even get excited. That's how subconscious mind works. When you go in army or at police, the police department, they yell, they scream. Why they scream? Because that's something unusual, and your subconscious mind record faster. When you go to those meetings, you get excited. Everybody get excited. That means your subconscious mind record a lot faster. It takes 21 days for subconscious mind to record normally something, but when you get excited, like when you get shocked of something, you go through a trauma, that's over there, that change your life, a trauma or extreme happiness. That means it's enormous, either excitement or enormous trauma. That's when your subconscious mind record right away. So people are programmed, not only about flat earth, about everything. Our mind can be programmed. We are all programmed, actually. Since we are born until we die, we are programmed with everything that's around us. So that's why I'm saying they will, once they are convinced about that, then they record it. They are programmed that way. You have to deprogram them to prove otherwise, and that's the fight. Because in their mind, like, if I tell you that, when I was younger, I created a ball of fire. Everybody rolled their eyes. Everybody looking, oh, this guy, it's crazy. It's a lunatic. But you have to understand how things work, how energy work, how your mind work, and all combined. Then you say, oh yes, now I understand. But you can jump from A to Z. You have to explain people A, B, C, D, and so on until you get to Z. And then there's this, now I understand because you explained me how things work. So these people are programmed. To me, the biggest thing, as I said, the universe is not turning around the earth. The stars are not turning around, even though they are so far. That automatically make everything to collapse. Like if you go up in space, let's say you go to zero gravity, you go up in space and station there. And that's already been known. And you station there. When you come back straight down, you're going to end up somewhere else. Why? Because Earth is rotating, and you end up into another country or into another state, depends how fast you're going to come back. That's another experiment which can be proven anytime. Go to zero gravity, station up, and then come straight down the way you went up, and guarantee you're going to end up somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Somewhere else,
Exactly.
what I mean, because Earth is rotating,
Yes.
and you either end up, if you come in a couple hours back, or I don't know, 10 hours or whatever, not 10 hours, less than that, you end up into another state. And if you continue go so, you end up into another country. So,
Yeah, I
so
mean
that's
that's a good point. Yeah, that's
yeah.
the easiest way to prove it. Go straight up, stay there for a couple of hours, come back down. You're not going to be in the same place you left.
And
100%.
that's the biggest proof can be done to anybody. All this flat Earth theorists, when you tell them this, okay, we can prove it that way, then if it's been proven. But as I say, scientists are laughing at this. NASA scientists, NASA actually have two branches. NASA have a lower branch. I heard their president speaking, and he said, I have to be careful what I speak with, because we have a higher branch we don't have control on. We don't have no access or control. They are a lot more advanced than we are, and the public don't even know about. I heard their president saying that with his own mouth. So, which NASA actually, it's a joke compared to the advanced society. And I have to explain how they develop and how they end up to be an advanced society. And NASA, it's something minor compared with what those guys have today.
Well,
Now, but
interesting.
that's another subject.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes.
How I learned many things, because 17 years ago, I've been approached by a secret society, so-called Illuminatis.
Oh, the
So
Illuminati. Okay, yes.
yes, I received a letter which kind of shocked me. What they wrote in their letter, they said, Julius, we know you better than you know yourself. We handpick you out of the crowd, and it's nowhere to hide.
Hold
We
on,
know
Julius. Hold on to that thought. We're gonna take a break, and
okay.
then we're gonna we're gonna get right back into that. Try to keep it short and concise. But I do want to hear about the Illuminati. That take. We're gonna touch a little bit on that. We're gonna touch on Mount Shasta. We're gonna touch on.
That's a big subject. The inner earth, it's
We'll
enormous.
get to it. We'll get to it. We're gonna get to aliens. We're gonna get to chemtrails. We're gonna get to the Truman
But see, it's
Show.
not.
Hey, we're
It's
gonna get right
not.
to it. Right to it. Let's just take a
It's
short
not going to
break.
be time enough to talk about the
Well,
subject. Yeah.
well, you know what? You don't have to no deep dive. Just kind of the footnotes. Just because, like I said, this is just episode 1 of conspiracy theories. We'll do numerous ones. So let's take a break. We'll be right back after this on Nerds Talking, the podcast. Welcome back to Nerds Talking. As we left you, we were talking about Flat Earth, which we're going to have some final thoughts. We're going to touch into Julius bringing up the Illuminati, which is always interesting. And Dennis has a topic of his own, The Truman Show, which if you haven't seen The Truman Show, it's a very good movie starring Jim Carrey. And it is kind of I don't know, not really a conspiracy anything really, but it's an interesting subject matter, the movie itself. Well, let's anybody's final thoughts on the flat earth, and then we'll jump to the next topic. Go ahead, Carlos. If you have any final thoughts on flat earth, let them have it.
I think it also comes down to social media. I mean, a lot of these people now they have a new place to gather. They have, some of them who see themselves as the leaders of this movement now have some place where people can gravitate to listen to them. They now have an audience, which makes them more popular now. And they probably weren't popular in high school or growing up or whatever, but now they are because they've pulled you into something to make you believe in something. And now they have their audience. I mean, let's take a look at Mark Sargent. I mean, think about it. If this guy was disproved and the earth was actually round, he'd have nowhere to go. I mean, he doesn't have a fan base in Globers, what they're called, And then he has such a big base in flat Earth that if he were to just walk away from it, going, you know what, I was wrong this whole time. It's actually round. Then what do you think those people would do? They would cast him out as well. So now he'd be on an island of one, just him all by himself. What would he do at that point, right? So social media gives them a big platform, and social media is actually, I believe, is the ultimate culprit for restarting this flat Earth movement. I just don't understand why I don't think science is fact. I mean, 1+1 = 2, but I'm sure a lot of them think 1+1 = 3. But did you just say it's true?
Sure.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's pretty straightforward. That's not really an argument, though. But
Thank you. No, but my take on it is like I was just saying from the beginning. It's just people that wanting to belong to something, and they have a strong community. I mean, it's a small community, but they have a community they belong to, and they're happy with it. And in the end, ultimately, who does it hurt? Does it really bother you if the Earth is flat or round? I mean, who's it hurt? It doesn't hurt anyone. I mean, as you go about your day, do you really think about it? I mean, when you're driving down the road, does it really, when you pay your bills and you watch TV, when you go out with your family or friends or hang out, who does it hurt if what your belief is? What does it matter?
But see, that's where, like Julius said, they'll take it to the grave, but they'll also look for the money within it. They'll look for that side of it as well. They're selling, man, you saw in that documentary that they have a convention where they're selling books and flat Earth models and the dome models. People are idiots. Anyway, Dan, that's what you take.
But what do you think about those people that are just followers? I mean, they're not like the main front runners, and they're not the the advocates, right? I mean,
because I think
what is it for them?
Well, you know what?
Belonging.
I think they want to be part of something, and I think they enjoy the debate of it. I think
I don't think I agree with that. I mean, maybe that's part of it. I mean, a lot of these people they're losing families. They're losing relationships in the process of going after what they believe in. I mean, I don't think that's really something that's pleasant, right?
But that's
belonging to a community, and in the process also removing yourself from your pulling yourself away from your family and tearing down relationships. That's not, I don't think that's to anyone's advantage at that point. I mean,
I don't know. The world doesn't revolve around them.
I know, but I mean, I don't
the
think
world doesn't revolve
I
at
think
all.
I think it goes above and beyond being belongingness and being part of the community. I think the people that really believes in it just for that reason, and not because there's any monetary gains, or being part of that whole community. I don't think there's. I mean, it's really. I think there's nothing else beyond that.
But see, you're talking about the people that just go around and follow the people that are the leaders of the movement. And that's fine too. I understand that. Like if you and I went to those and thought, oh, this is amusing, and maybe I believe it. I don't know, but I found I enjoy it.
But like I said, it's a stem. It stems from having that ability to just question everything and just not settle into this underlying idea that everything is.
The problem with questioning if the Earth is round is what Carlos brought up. What does it lead to? Who cares if the Earth is flat or round? It doesn't matter. Does that make sense?
Even if they prove a point, it doesn't really benefit them, right? I mean,
it doesn't
it's
benefit
like,
anyone.
I got you. Like,
Yes.
Okay, I finally prove it. Like, it doesn't. I don't think it's. What is it? What's the end goal really? I mean, is it really like to prove?
Is that what the end goal is?
Like, for instance, let's take a conspiracy like JFK, right? Nope, all that, like who killed him, why, for what reason, so on and so forth. If that came out and people found out, it probably would have ramifications. But if the Earth was flat, then okay, it's flat. You know what I mean?
But that's a different argument though, because you're coming from, that point where the point of view where people don't really have, any side to the JFK situation, right? Like they don't have any, I don't think they really have any sides to that to begin with either. You believe that he was shot, or you believe.
Well, we know he was shot.
Oh, I know. I mean,
that's not-
it's just believing that he was shot, and it's just like, okay,
By
it's
one
just-
shooter or two or three. I'm
Right.
and why and what's the reason and so on and so forth. There's a lot behind it.
I know the reason.
Wait a second,
Oh,
Julius.
here we
Hold
go.
on.
Here we
Hold
go.
on.
Hold
Wait
on.
a second. Where did you get the secret decoder ring and how do you know this stuff?
It's
Hold on. I want you to
once you
explain
have the
this.
big picture.
I want you to
understand. Go ahead.
I want you to explain. We're gonna jump the ship real quick or jump the shark. I want you to explain JFK in 2 minutes. Go.
Well, JFK was a rebellious against the group which controlled him, which was related to the Masons, related to the Illuminati, related to White Brotherhood, related to many secret societies which form a group, and the globalists, which I call the globalists, who have intention to control this planet, and that's a long subject. Again, I said from A to Z, you have to explain all that. And he was rebellious for two reasons. First, they didn't want him to send anybody on the moon to find out what's going on over there. That's one thing. Another thing was that he wants to take power to control the money, the government to start to print the money, not a private corporation to borrow to the government for 30% interest. So there was a big battle over there. So he put a battle out, and for that reason, the money was a big deal, actually. He wants the government to take the power over the money and to dissolve the Federal Reserve. He didn't agree with the Federal Reserve, which belonged to Rockefellers, which again is a private corporation. So for that reason, they executed him in public as an example, not for the public, as an example for the others who are in those groups as a fear. Look what we're gonna do to you if you're not gonna obey us. He was punished in public to the secret societies, to all the people in power, just like Hitler did with executed the people who went against him. All the generals who went against him, punished them in the front of the other generals and colonels and so on. So see, look, that's what we're gonna do to you if you're not gonna obey. So he was rebellious. Now, Donald Trump is kind of on the same seat, but Donald Trump has a very powerful society behind him, which people don't know this. They said, oh, we're gonna kill him. I said, go ahead, but we're gonna tell the public anything that you did against this society, because what Hitler did against this society, it's nothing compared with this society's did towards humanity. So, but that's another subject. They are long subjects, and that's why nobody ever approached Donald Trump to. Well, they try on the smaller groups to approach him and to, it was a guy who attacked him or so on. But that's nothing. It's very easy to kill somebody today with a scope gun. You put 100 guys out. Every movement that you see from far away with this advanced technology that we have, they have guns with the scopes which can go very far. So it's very easy to kill somebody if you want to.
Okay.
But there was another deal over there.
But is the Earth round?
In my opinion, yes.
There we go. All right.
Now, let me very short. What I want to say, there are a few categories of people. I can categorize. They are super masterminds. They are masterminds. They are leaders. They are followers, and they are absolute dummies. So there are many categories of people, and this, let's say, leaders or masterminds. There is one who try to attract other people's, the followers. The followers follow. They don't ask too many questions. We trust this guy. We believe what he said. They are a type of, and 80% of this planet are followers. And only 20% are the leader type, masterminds, or super masterminds. That's the classification which, in my opinion, I give out. And that's why people joined. If you guys want to open a movement, a new religion, let's say, you want to open a new religion, believe me, in a couple of years, you're going to have a bunch of followers.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong.
And,
I mean, look at all.
and you're going to make lots of money, too.
Oh, I mean, that's the idea. I have it planned already. So I like this. I like this idea already.
But,
This is
but there are thousands of religions out there already.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's okay. 1,001 is not going to hurt. You know. Fantastic. All right. Well, you know what? We'll take another break real quick. We'll be right back. We know that the Earth is around, and we don't have.
Well,
any...
wait. I just want to say one thing.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Just my closing statement.
Okay, go for it.
So yeah, I mean, like you said, there's 80% of the population is followers. So the only thing that you can really trust is really yourself, right? Like you can't really trust anything at this point. Like the only thing that you can do is just kind of do the whole research for yourself. Just don't follow anything. Just open up your eyes. Just read as much as you can, and just don't listen to anything. Just trust that what you get is the most accurate information out there.
Well, but that's a tough sell because you can look up one topic and there can be a million different takes on
right,
that
and
topic,
make a decision for yourself and live with that decision. I mean, just don't buy into any trend or whatever is being put out there.
It took me about 17 years to get the big picture because, as I said, people live in a small bubbles. They have their own life. They are so busy with their own life. They are so preoccupied. Go to the store, go to the job, come back, pay bills, talk to your wife, take care of your child, go to the doctor, go have a little fun, watch a football game. All your time is being taken away. You never have time to think what else is out there, who I am, what I am, why I'm here, where I'm going, where I come from, especially what's out there. People don't think too much about that.
And if someone walks up to me, someday and say, "Hey, I've proven that the Earth is flat," and I'd be like, "You know what? I knew it."
Wait, you would say that?
I knew it.
Wow.
I won't be surprised because I remain neutral myself.
But see what you
Sure
just
you
said.
do.
What you just said. But what you just said. If someone walks up to you and tells you the Earth is flat,
they prove they
no, and they prove it, and they prove it.
Come
to
out
you.
some experiment and they say, "Hey, we're proving it."
Now,
the science people are just dumb and
okay. Now I'm gonna take
idiots,
your own.
right?
I'm gonna take your own.
And
words.
I'd be like, you know what?
I'm gonna
Great
take your
job.
own words against you when you just said, "Oh, if you do your own research, just believe what."
No,
you
but I mean,
know."
what I'm saying is just being open-minded about it. I'm not
trying to tell you is if you
I'm not
have
taking any sides. I'm just saying, like,
you have 100 people and 95 tell you the Earth is round and 5 tell you no, it's flat. Which side will you take?
I don't.
The 95
I'm not gonna
or
go,
the 5?
I don't. I mean, I'm leaning towards the science side because that's
Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is scientists. 95 scientists tell you it's round, and 5 tell you it's flat. And the 5 are just drunk people that fell out of a bar. They're not real scientists. And the other 95 are real scientists.
It's really it's just you saying that. It's like it's so apparent and it's so obvious that
It is very obvious.
I mean, it is. I mean, unless you've been in the space or you've done this experiment with yourself. I mean, it's like saying like it's like saying like it's like
look at the sun.
It's like living on a faith, right? Like saying like, oh, God is real.
But that's different. That's completely different.
No, but that's exactly what you believe in. It's saying like
because God
what I've been taught in school is really the only way, is the right way, and it's a fact.
That you can't compare religion to
no, but
anything because religion
it's
is
like saying that
primarily-
it's a fact without really witnessing yourself that it's real. I mean, obviously it's to our naked eyes it is what it is, right? But I mean, have we really gone beyond and done
Okay, so this is how we're going to end this segment. 3 people in this podcast think the Earth is round. 1 thinks it's flat, but maybe it is.
I'm not a flat earther. Just to clear it up. I'm not a flat earther.
All I know is you're confusing the audience. Oh, it's okay. Though. We'll be right back after this. Julius will tell us how the Illuminati contacted him, because that's a wild story. And Dennis is going to tell us the Truman Show. What is that about? Right here on Nerds Talking the Podcast. Welcome back to Nerds Talking, the podcast. We left you with just a wild take that Dennis thinks the Earth is flat, and right, Dennis? Nah, he doesn't think it's flat. He just thinks it's kind of flat, maybe square, could be triangles. We don't know yet. We'll figure it out later. But we do know that Julius, our guest, has a very good story to tell. It's very interesting about the Illuminati and how they contacted him. But I don't know much about it, and I would love to hear it. So, Julius, give me a 5-minute breakdown on the Illuminati, how they contacted you, and how that led to
why.
Why, and how it just led to a whole new world for you.
Okay, they might gonna listen us. They were watching me actually, and anytime when I talk to Matt, we talk interesting subjects. We being cut off almost every single time. I changed their name and I called them the Golden Poodles because they would lick down if their master would make a mess on the floor. They would lick that right away, just like little golden poodles. If the master said, lick my feet, that's what they would do. And their master they call it Lucifer. So what I learned that Lucifer and the devil, they are two different entities, which, again, I don't know, but that's what I learned. And they believe in, if they exist or not, they believe in and they follow their belief. So, but Illuminati it's a bit more complex. Also,
But
what I learned.
I just would love to know how they
anyway, let me
got a hold of you.
Yes. Let me tell you short. I received about 16 or 17 years ago. I received a letter, and when I opened this letter, I was kind of something new. New information came to me. And they told me, okay, we are very powerful people. We are involved in news. We are involved in television. We're involved in the highest businesses in the world. If you join us, you're going to be very rich and famous. So they said, we pick you out of the crowd, handpick, and we want you to join us. So I agree. I signed whatever they asked me to sign. And what they did, they started to program me. So what they did, they sent me a big book. It was probably, if you take normal books, like 3 books or 4 books put together. And in that book, they said Blig Legacy, Blig and Sons, and my sons. They didn't put the daughters, but the sons. And I know why, because they are related with the Masons. The Masons are like their... I don't know how to put it. The Masons are involved pretty much in everything, all down to the kindergarten, schools, kindergarten, government, you name it. And they have certain levels. But anyway, and I started reading that book. And in that book, I learned that they tried to brainwash me. They said there are no aliens, there are no mysticism. It's just us. And you have to grab, you have to take, and they try to educate me how to do business, a lot of mathematics. I mean, it was so much to read and so complicated. That was a really hard book to learn. It was a really tough book. You had to be really educated or to put really your mind into it. And then I got a lady who came to be as...
See, he
we
got
dropped.
He spoke too much of the Illuminati book.
And they cut him off. I think they grabbed him.
Which is on Amazon, called Illuminati, the Secret Society That Hijacked the World. Paperback
crossed the
came
line.
out June 13th.
crossed the line.
Wait. He's back. Julius.
I think. Julius.
Wait. Give it a
Did
second.
they nab you?
Who got you? Was it the Rockefellers, George Soros, the Koch brothers? Who got you?
Rothschild.
Well, if he comes back, we'll
All right, Dennis, you're up. Let's hear this.
Dennis,
Truman
let's
thing.
go with the Truman Show.
Which part do you want to hear?
Well, I want to know what, because Carlos told me that you had something about the Truman Show you want to talk about. What was it about the Truman Show you wanted to talk about?
Well, every time you bring up flat Earth, he's got some sort of Truman Show analogy. So let's hear it.
I can just do a parallel bit. It's just a whole parallel with that movie and, the whole flat Earth earthers, right? I mean, it's just being not being able confined to that idea that we are in this this universe with with the earth and everything that's been set up for us. I think it's their idea is more leaning towards that it's we're all living in a whole it's like a Hollywood backdrop, like everything that you know everything that's happening you know it's happening within our life is basically a setup, and everything is just they're making us believe that everything is just happening, and and we should just play along with what what's been set up for us. And I think the whole movement is just it's just have a lot of parallel with that movie as far as questioning everything, and just the idea of not just the flat earth itself, but just just the general idea of just questioning everything that's happening. And
I mean, can't you say the same thing about The Matrix?
you can.
I mean, the difference between a movie like The Matrix and Truman Show is Truman Show is a reality show. I understand your take on it, but it's a reality show about somebody that they control since birth to create a television show, basically. I mean, they created a television show, and then they created all the false narratives around him to create storylines to build Truman Show up.
And Truman Show is just one angle, right? I mean, you can talk about it in different contexts, like The Matrix, like you mentioned. I mean, Truman Show is just one way of looking about it. I mean, there could be hundreds of ways of the setup and how everything is being manipulated and controlled. And I mean, you can look at it in different ways.
The thing is this. It's kind of like saying everything in your life that you've achieved was controlled by someone else, leading you down that path to where you are today.
I don't believe in that, but who knows?
But that's what the Truman Show is. The Truman Show is
religion to me.
Well, that's what the Truman Show is. The Truman Show is when he starts realizing certain things, they're like, oh crap, how can we behind the scenes try to fix this and correct that and do that? Put this character here, try to make him go this way. Oh, get him a new girlfriend. Like they can control everything. I mean, yeah, that I mean, when did he start questioning stuff anyways? That I mean, everything was just kind of happening the same way every day, right? For years and years. Well, that's what I'm saying. And then he started questioning things because things started I forgot which part of the movie it was. I've seen the movie a couple of times. Anyway, because things weren't normal as they usually were, like everything
something was off. Something was off.
And then he was like, this isn't right. What's going on? Wait, hold on. Julius, are you back? No, he's not here yet.
I can see you guys. I don't know. I'm back?
You're back. Yes, you are back. What happened? Fill me in.
Well, I just been cut off. I don't know why. Either it's a connection problem or either I've been cut off because, honest to be, I received a letter one time and I've been told that that we are watching you. So I say, yes, I know. So what? So many times, as I said, when I speak with a friend of mine on the phone, we've been cut off almost every single time. When we say something that's not likable to them, then we've been cut off right away. And we are laughing about, we go back again and talk. And when we go for, talk against something unpleasant to them, then we've been cut off again. That's came up something so usual to us. So, but anyway, it's childish, but that's okay. That's what they do. It's fine. But where I was about that book that I received. You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, does the book have a title or is it just a book? Like no title. It's just a blank
It was, no, on the book was that Blig Legacy. Blig and Sons, actually. Blig and Sons Legacy. So legacy, that means I was part of their society, and they start to groom you. They start to prepare you to get into their society. In other words, you have to accept them. And if you don't accept them, you're never going to meet them physically. So they are around you. They are watching you. They are educating you. But if you don't accept them, if you don't go with their teaching and you don't go further, you're never going to step through their door.
Gotcha.
But once you step through their door, you have to go through certain rituals. And once you do those rituals, you belong to them. You have the privileges that they give you, but then also you have to do anything they tell you to do. And in general, in those societies, people are controlled by fear. You don't do what we tell you to do, then you got punished. And if you stubborn, for a long period of time, some people end up being killed, actually. There are many cases, and I know cases, but anyway.
Yeah. So,
and then that's what opened my mind. They put a spark out. I say, wait a minute, there is a lot more than I thought. And then I start to dig, I start to study, I start to learn, I start to get information from anywhere I could. And I end up in, I would say, about 13, 14 years with about 2,000 letters home, 2,000 letters from all over the world. And I was asking myself, why do I receive so many letters from everywhere, actually? Europe, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, from everywhere, Europe, from United States, you name it, including China, Israel, China, from monks from China. So what happened? I got into their network. They have a secret network. Once your name come up there, everybody pick on you. Oh, who's this guy? Let's study his profile. Oh, we like his profile. Okay, this guy can be modeled the way we want. We can use him in many areas. Because follow human behavior again. It's use, abuse, and dispose. So I have some value to them because they want to use me. Then, of course, abuse me, working for them, and dispose when they don't need me. And of course, threw me a bone like $1 million, $2 million, whatever, 3, 10, depends how far you want to go. So pretty much that's how translated this would be. And I never fall for it because I knew what's on the other side.
So basically,
I have
you got the initial letter. You got an invite, more or less.
Yes, but not one time. I've been invited not only to Illuminatis, I've been invited to many, many societies. I got letters from presidents of corporations. I got letters from presidents of secret societies. I got letters from FBI. I got letters from CIA. I got letters from sensitives, but that's another subject. From the president of sensitives on the entire world, which is Mr. Duplier, his name. I corresponded with him in many letters. I want to meet him personally, but he said, in a moment when you're going to meet me, you're going to be dead. Because other spy from other countries going to see you, they're going to kill you right away. They don't want no competition. So if we meet, we have to meet in secret, but you have to be prepared to meet me first. So I got I got letters from scientists, I got letters from monks, I got letters from priests, I got letters from, you name it. And the things get even more interesting.
I guess
they become more aggressive.
My question is,
from, not letters, texts.
Well, my question to you is, why do you think they picked you out?
Well, they measure people in 2 ways. They go by genoline. I must have a geno that they like. Most of us actually have 22 type of genes in our body, and that's called alien genome. And so when we talk about 3% genome, they talk about junk DNA. That's not junk DNA. That's alien DNA. But that's a long history to go back and explain what and how. And you have to have all those. That's one. You have to have also royal blood. They like the royal blood. People don't know what royal blood is. Royal blood is not that pleasant as people think. It's kind of, in my opinion, disgusting. So each one of us, like you have 2%, 3%, 5%, 20, 30, 40, 50%. So once you pass 50%, weird things are happening. But I must have some royal blood from Europe and be related. That's one thing. When Rockefeller sent me a letter, Joseph Rockefeller, which I showed to Carlos, actually, he said, I believe it when I see it. So, okay, there you go. I show him the letter. Did they ask you for any money? I said, no, they didn't. They asked me to join them, and they offered me $450,000. They said, we take the money out of the Federal Reserve, because they own the Federal Reserve. We give you that as a down payment. Once you come and you go through the ceremony that you have to go, which is the Mason ceremony, which that's another story, then you belong to them, and then they get you in a higher position, and then they try to make you a multimillionaire or a billionaire. They promise me, we're not going to make you only a millionaire, we're going to make you a billionaire.
So why didn't you go for that one?
I tell you why. There are two forces. If you believe in religion, if you believe in God or not, or there are two forces. They are in us, actually. We do good and bad. People choose to do good or bad. That means you have a dark side, you have a good side or light side. Each person is human. So there are these two forces which are positive and negative, just like the electrical power. They run parallel, but they are not the same. So these people believe, I know their beliefs. Some of them are Luciferians. As I said, if Lucifer exists or not, they believe and they follow their beliefs. Some of them are satanics, which, again, they follow the Satanism. And that's another subject which we have to explain who they are, what they do, how they believe, and how they pursued in this world in their belief and what they do. And also they are Zionists. They come from some Hebrew Zionists, which they believe in, again, they are Luciferians, but they are some who believe in a dark matter, in a dark power. They don't believe that anything exists but the dark power, and they choose to I even saw one time a show on TV, a priestess with her husband who were part of the Wolf Society, so-called. She was the high priestess. Now, she contacted me, actually, sent me a letter with other two priestesses, which they got their ceremony, and they sent me a letter to correspond with them. And I saw her, actually, it was very amazing. I saw her on TV, and then I saw her on YouTube, but then she sent me a letter without me ever looking for her. And two other priestesses, which they have a role. They are being used by Illuminatis. They have a role. And that's another subject. But what I want to say, because I jumped to another subject over here.
I guess, Mike, I mean, are they still contacting you till this day? I mean, when's the last time you heard from any of these people?
They are kind of mad at me. They are why I rejected
Why are
them?
they mad at you? What's going on? What happened?
Okay, I rejected them because they are on the dark side. They are not people who are...
That you want to be affiliated with.
Well, it doesn't matter about the money. I was 1 foot in, and I pulled out. I said, okay, this is a danger zone. Anytime, I'm an open-minded person, and I would like to go for almost everything. But when you get, they say, when you get too close to the fire, you better back up not to get burned. So how can I get to this? Because it's a big picture, and to explain the big picture, there are many puzzles to put together. It's a lot to explain. Illuminati was actually created since 17th centuries. I knew the name of the guy. You can't find him on anywhere now on Google. There's no secret anymore. I mean, it's no secret. They were created in 7th centuries. They created the French Revolution. They created the First War, Second War, problems in other countries. And it's not, Illuminati, it's only one of the branches. Illuminati is not the biggest branch. It's only one of the branches. White Brotherhood, it's actually the big branch which is on the top of the pyramid. A White Brotherhood, it's a very old society since Babylonian time.
Have they contacted you?
Yes, they
Good Lord,
contacted
man.
me.
You are more popular than Justin Bieber. You are, good Lord, you are popular.
Don't believe me. I don't
No,
feel myself
I mean, my
more
thing,
important
I
than
mean,
any person.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
you've been contacted by a lot of people. My question is, I mean, it seems like you almost have options. You can pick all these groups to go with. My question would be for you is, has there been a group that's contacted you where I guess you were like, yeah, I'll join you. I mean, or you just don't want any part of it at all. Like you're just, this is too, not that you don't believe it. It's not as too far fetched. It's too, I guess I would say, take you away from what your comfort zone or your normal life that you want to, you rather live or.
Well, I tell you, I was very uncomfortable. I was driving from San Francisco home to Golden Gate Bridge, actually, I was. And I received a very weird email. A female contacted me and he said, how are you? You're supposed to be my twin flame. If everybody know what twin flame is, and I'm not going to get into that subject, it's only one twin flame, flame for a man and one for a woman. Soulmates can be many. Any one of you can be a soulmate, or either it's a woman or a man. That means you have to get married. It's the soul, actually. It's a soulmate.
Yep.
Soulmate, it's a big soul which is divided in more many bodies. That's I tell you the theory of the soulmate and the twin flame. Twin flame, it's only one. So anyway, she told me I'm supposed to be her twin flame. I say, who are you? She said, I'm supposed to be your girlfriend. I'm supposed to be your wife, but I'm not. I said, why not? She said, because I belong to Copenhagen. I said, who's this guy? He said, he's the owner of Starbucks. He's your buddy. I said, what are you talking about? I don't know him. I don't know who this guy is. And he said, he's the owner of Starbucks. And they believe in past lives and they talk about past lives. And they said, you always been the leader and he always been second after you. Now he wants to be the leader and you to be second. I said, what else do you guys want from me? We want you to come to Switzerland, to the Black Castle. We have a big meeting over there. We want to initiate you and give you an honor or whatever. I said, guys, I don't have time for this.
So you almost went to that one, or were you close? Was it your moment?
No, I've been invited. I've been invited to go. And
Gotcha.
then I receive a text. I thought in the beginning there were some children were playing, because when I was texted actually for the first time was not on the Golden Gate. I was texted by a group of people, and I asked them, "Who are you guys?" They say, "We are the dark."
Oh, I think he accidentally muted himself. We'll have to. Oh wait, Julius, are you back? Are you there?
Yes, I'm back. Somebody
You know what?
called me. Anyway,
There's one more thing I wanted to touch on because we're gonna have to get back to this. This is part 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. Carlos has told me very interesting news that you are a telepath.
Well, I tell you how I developed telepathy. Every human, you are a telepath as well. Animals are telepath. Every human born on this planet, and every animal, every existing living thing, it's a telepath.
Dennis, are you a telepath?
The reason why everybody is a telepath, you just have to practice and exercise. So how I developed telepathy, I have to practice actually. But it's an even interesting story. I went to Washington all the way to meet this native Indian, and he tested me. But in that time, I was more I was practicing more than now for I don't know how many years I didn't practice, but I have some experiences. So I don't know how much time we have, but because we jumped a lot of subjects.
You know what?
But
let's
what I want to say.
A minute. Go if you can cover it in like 2 minutes. Just go full force.
Okay. I received a CD, 14 CDs actually. It's called Your Wish, It's Your Command. Your wish, it's your command. So I ordered those CDs. It's a call from Global Network Information, the new Illuminatis, which some people, billionaires, 40 billionaires, break out of the old Illuminatis. They didn't want to go against the public, against the society. They formed their own circle. They tried to educate people the real truth, how things work for real. And those people contacted me as well. They invited me on a boat on Caribbean, not Caribbeans, actually in Caribbeans, for free. One of those was Kevin Trudeau, if you guys heard about him.
Yes. Mhm.
Was, what's his name? The other guy was a psychic. He got a TV show in 60s.
Arnak.
I can't remember his name, but anyway, he was famous in that time. If I remember later, I'll let you know, but very short. So I was learning on these CDs about Carnegie Ford. They were talking about Einstein. They were talking about science. They were talking about white brotherhood. They all belong to them. And they teach people how your mind works. It's a receiver and transmitter, better than the radio waves. It's more powerful than the radio waves. Can go any direction. It can go in space, can go through Earth. You can contact any human, anytime, anywhere you want. So once I learned this, I said, let's experiment this. And I focus and I start to send powerful transmissions. Well, how transmissions work? First, you have to believe it. If you don't believe, that means negative. If you believe, that means the positive. That means you can do it. You have the door open. You have to have the picture in your mind, what you want to transmit. And also you have to have the feeling, the powerful feeling, the emotion. You combine these three, you can do anything you want. And I send powerful transmissions out. Wherever I was picturing that mind, that far away to an alien world and around the globe and so on. And guess what? After a couple of days, after about 4 days, I received a letter. We caught your transmission. We don't know how you do it, but we know that you do it, and you know that you do it. And the reason we contact you for your ability, that you are more advanced than our expert ones. You catch a lot bigger radio than our expert ones, and you are only in the infant stage, and we want to train you. So they send me all the scientists. They got a big kind of moon-shaped tube, and there was a device that they said they can catch transmissions. They said also we have our psychics or our telepathics who can catch your transmissions as well in their minds. And we try to decode your thoughts. Okay, I said, okay, maybe this is some kind of accident. I said, whatever. I didn't believe it. I said, that's fine. So I waited another week. I did another transmission for, I don't know, half an hour or so. Because it takes over 2.5 minutes to be able to do a transmission. If you do it under, they might not going to go out. It passed 2.5 minutes to be able to do a transmission. So anyway, I did it again. I received a letter after about 4 days again. We caught your transmission again. And then they start to introduce them, their director, members, and so on. They show me their pictures, their name. We want you to, because of your capability, to be part of our society. Well, I didn't respond. Again, I did another transmission. They sent me a letter again. I said, well, this is not accidental. Something is going on over here. And they sent me a letter insisting that they want to train me, they want to meet me, and so on. And then I didn't respond right away because I am a busy guy. I was a busy guy. I didn't take it really serious. But then I received a letter from their president, which was Mr. Duplier. I don't know the other name. He said, I work beyond CIA. I am a trainer. I am the highest telepath in the world. I got in your mind and I know your thoughts, he said. Well, that's called mind melting, which I learned later on. All the psychics, they send me some advanced ones, very advanced ones. You don't even know about them. They say, I can mind melt with you, which all humans telepathically, you can mind melt with other people because your mind is receiver and transmitter. And then, I told you what he told me if we met and so and so. But he told me, I want you to, if you want me to train you, I want you to give me your body and soul. And that kind of was insulting to me. I didn't accept that. I kind of got angry. I'm not going to give you my body and soul. There was probably an expression. So we leave it to that. But I start to experiment, actually, the telepathy. It wasn't enough that I just received some letters. They said they caught my transmissions, which I did for real. I said, let's experiment that. And I was driving. I learned how to connect the two atmospheres of the brains, left and right. Once you connect the left and right, one is the one when you sleep, and the other one is the conscious mind when you're awake. So one is the subconscious mind, and the other one is... When you connect the two, you get into a kind of a sleepy mode. You're half asleep, half awake. So I was driving to San Francisco, and I was kind of like half asleep. I wasn't blinking my eyes. I said, how come I don't blink my eyes?
Yeah, why not?
And I didn't have to move. I was the fear disappeared, no fear. The belief increased. You don't have no doubt because the subconscious mind don't have no judgment. So it was like half and half. Anyway, story short, I went to San Francisco to do a job, to do a kitchen, which Phil, if you Phil, the guy, it's a cop now.
Phil, yeah. Uh-huh.
And I got another guy on. Anyway, but the thing is this. I don't know if we have time for this. Do we have time for this?
We're about to wrap up. So we're about to wrap up. But you know what? We're going to pick this up. Definitely Carlos is going to have to bring you back on because I want to hear more. I want to hear about Mount Shasta. I want to hear about your take on aliens. I want to hear more about telepathy.
I want to hear it all, man. I want to hear the whole globalist thing.
We're definitely going to come back on. Oh no! Don't go Mount Shasta. Save it for later. Save it for next time. I want everyone to YouTube, if you're listening, the hidden city in Mount Shasta. But don't believe anything you hear on YouTube until Julius tells you the truth. Next time we have him on here. But yeah, that's great. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back after this on Nerds Talking, the podcast. Thanks, Julius, for stopping by. And I'm telling you, good times, everyone. Good times. And Julius if you don't know, Julius has sent you a message. He just sent you a message, and he's going to tell you to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and download this podcast here on Nerd Talking Podcast. Welcome back to Nerds Talking the Podcast. We filled you in with a lot of stuff this week. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Totally forgot about that, but I sent you through my mind, so you should have already got it like a week ago. So it's okay. But Dennis, I know we left you with the Truman Show thing. I don't know if you had anything more on that before we get out of here. Did you have any more? Did you have any take on Julius's what he was going on about, or?
No, I mean, I want to hear more about it. I mean, I think this could be part of the a bigger conversation. I think.
My goodness! Yes.
We can dive deeper into each one of these things that you brought in.
We can go way into it. I mean,
so I want to hear. I'm really interested in.
Julius needs to write a book about all the letters he's got, the people have contacted him, societies that want. I mean, he's a very important person. I don't know, Carlos, how you work with this individual. He sounds like he's more important than just about anybody you'll ever meet in your life.
Yeah, from what I hear and from stories I've been told, every day I ask him, why not just take the money and join one of these groups? But
he has morals.
But no, just wait till next time. I mean, it has a lot to do with his morals. Yeah, he'd rather be happy than
controlled
rich and have have no soul. But yeah,
much.
Definitely, we'll do a part 2 to this for sure, if not a 3 and a 4, because Julius is an interesting fella and he's got some great stuff to talk about.
I have a question for you. You saw this letter he got from the Rockefeller?
I may have. He showed me a bunch of letters.
Okay. So you've seen a lot of letters.
I've seen quite a few. I actually took pictures of some of them so I could read them. I just haven't gotten to them yet.
Have you not gotten to reading these things?
Because they should know that I have them, and why they're not contacting me, I have no idea.
Well, because you're stupid. And he has like alien / king DNA or something, and you don't got that. Okay, your DNA is that of a peasant and probably like a
A
lizard.
peon.
Okay. God damn you. Anyway, Dennis, anything on Truman Show before we go to our Netflix or Hulu recommendations, or you just like F Truman Show, watch Liar Liar?
No, I mean that's about it. I mean, I don't
Okay, I
have
like
anything
it. That's good. All right, let's move on to our recommendations for the week, for Thanksgiving week. So, Carlos, you start off with your recommendation, streaming recommendation for everybody to tune into this week.
Well, all I've got, I just have one recommendation. It's something that was actually on Fox for 7 seasons, and I mean, I knew it was on. I just never knew what day it was on. I caught a couple of episodes, not full episodes, just a couple of minutes here and there. But now that it's on Netflix, I've been watching it, and it's a lot of laugh out loud funny. It's The New Girl. Now, that is a funny show. If you get a chance, check it out. All 7 seasons are on Netflix. That's my recommendation for the Thanksgiving weekend. You have 4 days. Most of us have 4 days. Binge watch it. Good stuff.
And Dennis, what do you have for me this week?
I got a couple.
All right.
There's one called Evil on Netflix.
That's a good one.
Have you seen that one?
I have.
That's pretty good. Yeah, it's about the girl that's trying to determine whether that person is possessed or just a bogus, right? Type of case.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is Stargirl.
Stargirl on CW.
It's a DC, right? I
Yep.
think DC.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
That's a very good one.
Just started watching that one. So
There you go.
yep.
And I have one on HBO Max. It's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion show. It's actually pretty good. They kind of give you all the ins and outs of the show and why they changed Aunt Viv after season 1 and so on and so forth, and why this cast member didn't work out so well. And it's pretty good. You'll enjoy it. If you enjoyed Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like I did growing up, tune into HBO Max's reunion of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Matter of fact, they have a reunion of Friends coming up in January. That should be good too. I always enjoyed Friends. It was a good show. So check that out. And that's pretty much all we have. You guys have anything else before we vacate for this week's episode? Dennis, anything?
No, I'm good.
All right, everybody's good. Everybody go ahead and check out the website. We got a bunch of new video game reviews. We have some movies coming up. We have some reviews for the Mel Gibson movie Fat Man. I think Carlos is going to cover that one. By the time you hear this, it might already be up. And the new Nicolas Cage movie called Jiu-Jitsu. We're going to definitely cover that because Nick Cage is a hoot. He's not Julius, but he's a hoot. So thanks for tuning in here to Nerds Talking, the podcast. We'll see you next time.